Thank you all for coming. My name is Vince Kane. I am one of the co-founders of Great Flood Brewing Company. These are my partners, Zach Barnes, Matt Fuller. But thank you all for joining us today. Thank you, Mayor Fisher, for being here on our official grand opening of our Shelby Park production facility. This is an 11,000 square foot building that we purchased last year, and we've spent the last 5 or 6 months building out, and we're now officially operational and producing beer here, we're excited to say. You're also standing right now in the future home of our Shelby Park tap room. So if you look around you, there are some of the features already of future bathrooms and sinks and whatnot. So we'll be announcing the opening date of that sometime soon. And we're looking forward to building another great neighborhood hangout spot here. A little bit about our brewery. We began home brewing after we graduated from U of L in 2012. So almost 5 years exactly, we started our very first 5-gallon homebrew batches. We have entrepreneurial spirit, and we decided to write a business plan to see if there was a possibility of making brewing a possibility for us on a professional level. Just a couple of years after that, we actually found a building and found someone who was willing to let us take our business plan and try to make it a reality. We built our own brewery there. We opened in April of 2014 on Bardstown Road at Douglas Loop, right next to Twig and Leaf and North End Cafe over there. We've been incredibly blessed with some great customers who come all the time. They've supported us all along the way. We have an incredible team. We are so lucky to have just an amazing group of people that help us run that tap room now. They're back there. Thank you, guys. And to give you an idea where we came from, the brewery that we built on Bardstown Road is a 2-barrel brew system. This right here represents the amount of beer we'd make in one day. This is an 80-gallon tank. It would net about 60 gallons of beer, and it would produce 4 kegs. So this is what one day of labor looked like for us. If you look behind you, you see the new system. That's a 15-barrel brew system with 30-barrel fermenters. We're producing this year, hoping to produce in the neighborhood of 4,000 barrels compared to 300 annually at our other brewery. Obviously, an enormous expansion for us. This is a dream come true. 5 gallons to 4,000 barrels in 5 years is a huge deal for us. Like I said, we're incredibly blessed. We've got a tremendous group of customers, regulars, our friends, the Guild of Brewers, River City Distributing, who took a chance on us so many years ago. And we feel lucky to be here, and we are so excited to be Louisville's beer. We want to be a Louisville brand, and we want to be enjoyed by Louisville beer drinkers. We are going to focus on Kentucky as our primary distribution network, but for the time being, Louisville is our priority, and this is where you'll see us. And it's just the 3 of us. 100% ownership is standing right up here at the podium, and we're looking forward to keeping it that way. I'd like to take the opportunity now to introduce Mayor Fisher, and thank you for being here, sir.
All right, good morning. Well, I'm very excited to be here. I can't get the smile off my face. These guys are about the same age that I was when I kind of got my first big break. I'd almost been bankrupt 3 different times and learned a lot during that led to, something that ended up being pretty successful. And so we were just sharing war stories out here and about what it's like to be a small business owner and what it's like to be an entrepreneur. And people think that you're crazy when you're going through this and it's never going to succeed. But you've got this belief that you've got a great product and people are going to respond to it. And by God, you're going to get it done. Whether it's working 18 hours a day, 7 days a week or whatever, you've got this kind of belief. And that's what results in a wonderful announcement like this here today. And this is what our country's all about, and hopefully what our city's all about as well. So it's really great to visit a business that's expanding like this, and especially when it's a homegrown business like this with local U of L guys getting it done with a great name. When you saw that Great Flood Brewing initially when they were small, when you guys opened up your store in Douglas Loop there, you say, that's a great name. And that can really helps when you get something like this going here. So it's wonderful to see the next step. And this is no small next step either. What you guys, I guess the math is you're increasing your production 15 times. That means you got confidence in what you're doing. So more and more people are going to be able to enjoy this great product here as well. And when you think about our city and beer, And I do quite a bit with beer and bourbon with my job, which, is the thinking pulling up as a mayoral responsibility. This is something I take very seriously. But so much of it, when people visit cities, they want something that's authentic. You don't want to go to anywhere USA and nothing really happened and there's no authenticity to that. And when you think about, obviously, our bourbon heritage, that's well known. When you think about the brewing heritage that we have in our city, it's extraordinary as well. And over the years, it declined, and now over the last decade or so, man, we are roaring back like any city in our country as well. So it's beautiful to know we have the heritage and that we see this generation taking us to places that we haven't been before. And so I think the future is really bright for our heritage beer brands, but it's also really bright for brands that are built on our heritage, like Great Flood, where we're at here today. So it's an exciting time to see this kind of success, and it's tying more and more into our tourism sector as well, where tourism is just booming in our city. Last year we had 24 million visits in our city, and they're looking, many of them, for this kind of authenticity that I've spoken about. We've got a lot of bourbonism tourists, bourbon tourists, local food tourists. One of the most common questions they ask us is, where do we find good local beer? So they're looking for that kind of uniquely American experience, and the folks here, what they're doing at Great Flood is a big, big part of that. So it's encouraging to see the growth. It's encouraging to see the local roots with neighborhood pubs that are taking place here. We're in the Shelby Park area, which is having a great renaissance here in our community. Brian's leading that neighborhood effort for us. We appreciate the energy that you're bringing to this important part of our community. It's fascinating to see all the wonderful things. Well, so much changes, just really in the last 3 to 5 years that are taking place here. And we're seeing lots and lots of activity and a real revitalization in Shelby Park in many different ways, a lot of different growth that's taking place for us right now, built around one of the great Olmsted parks here in our city. And then when you think about the local roots, that these guys getting to know each other at the University of Louisville and doing this, it's just the way we like to see it. So when you think about college guys that are enjoying beer and turning this into an ongoing successful business, for many folks that is the American dream. So good job to you guys, Matt, Vince, and Zach. They're our heroes here, and we applaud them for doing this. So I'd like to present them with a proclamation on behalf of the city. So this is the City of Louisville honoring the Great Flood Brewing Company on the opening of its production facility in Shelby Park. Great Flood has proven to be a tasty addition to our city's increasingly robust local beer scene with a nod to local heritage. This new production facility will boost Great Flood's contributions while serving as a monument to the entrepreneurial spirit behind this company. So our city congratulates Great Flood team for being a catalyst here in our city and for the development in Shelby Park. So congratulations to you guys.
Thank you, Mayor Fisher. Next up on the list, new Shelby Park Neighborhood Association, Brian Burns.
So I moved into the neighborhood maybe about 8 years ago. 2 years into that, bought a house. Maybe a year or so after that, I began this program called the Neighborhood Institute, ran by the Center for Neighborhoods. We got Tom back there who heads that up. And one of the activities we did was we got into groups and designed what we thought the perfect neighborhood would look like. And it really struck me when everybody presented their ideas, how many of them looked like Shelby Park. It was like a center green space, houses around that, and then businesses all around that. A neighborhood you really never had to leave. And there were a few things missing, though. Back then, a lot of our storefronts were empty, but that's changing. And with the businesses like Great Flood, we've got beer now, we've got coffee, a few more things. We'll never have to leave this one. And I just want to welcome them. I'm so glad they're here, and I'm excited to see Shelby Park's development go in a way that includes so much local-based development. And I hope that we can be a compassionate example for the rest of the city and how our neighborhoods can develop in a way that is inclusive and healthy. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Mayor Fisher. Actually, now Matt, our head brewer, is going to lead you guys over to our canning line for a little demonstration and official firing up of the canning line.
Better than doing it by hand. I'd just like to say, so as a young entrepreneur, like when you're at a stage like this and you see this happening, you can't believe this is your beer with this kind of money behind you canning your stuff. So this might look pretty simple, but for an entrepreneur and these guys, this is an amazing thing for them and for our city. So I say hats off to you guys big time. This is really